everybody. Welcome back. I had to flip the cord around. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sundari Command Updates. Happy holidays to you all. We finally entered the first day of December 1st. John's actually a little bit ahead of us. He's in December 2nd. But we've entered the holiday seasons. I hope all of you had an amazing and wonderful Thanksgiving with your families, or at least with someone special to you. Friendsgiving, whatever it is. I hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving, and hope the holidays are going to treat us all well today. Happy to have everybody here. Hope you, like I said, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back, everybody. And today on Sundari Command Updates, we're going to be talking about is Pedro, by the thumbnail, by the title, easy one to talk about, is Pedro Pascal not returning to the Mandalorian? It's a question. It's been going around since November 14th. We haven't got time to talk about it because we were off for a couple weeks, as you guys know that. But it's a question that has to be asked. It's a question that we want to discuss with you folks and give our honest thoughts and opinions on it. Me and John have gotten a little bit into this article, and it's a great discussion, But first off, John, how was your Thanksgiving? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I am having a good December 2nd, but it's a good start to December.
How are Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was great. I mean, I got to talk with my family, like on the phone and stuff, but
good.
It just wasn't the same, but it's okay.
It is. It is what it is, but I still hope you had a good Thanksgiving with the Army pals over there.
Yep.
All right. Let's just get right into this episode because it's an easy episode to unpack. We're going to be a little bit shorter today, but this is a topic that I think we should all discuss, and you should honestly hear our thoughts and opinions. Personally, with this information, take it with a grain of salt because hasn't been fully confirmed yet. Everyone is kind of speculating. There has been stuff that has gone around, and of course, there has stuff that has gone around and kind of speculated throughout the community, but that's just something we have to talk about, So let's just get right into this, Is Pedro Pascal now returning to the Mandalorian? What are your thoughts, John?
I think that, to be honest with you, from what I have seen, I feel like Pedro Pascal probably won't return since he hasn't been doing a physical appearance for him the last season or two. Because I mean, he in season 1 he was doing the whole thing, he was wearing the armor and everything. Season 2 he was kind of going a little back, and then season 3 he wasn't in the armor at all because he didn't take off his helmet or anything. It was his I forget his name. The other guy.
It was a stunt double.
Yeah, it was a stunt double. His stunt double was wearing the armor the whole time. But honestly, from what I have heard and I have seen, I don't see him coming back now. What I could see is maybe he's taking a break from the Mandalorian because he's been on it for three seasons, and then they're going to be oh, we're going to have Bo-Katan be in charge of the Mandalorian for a little bit because Pedro Pascal wants a break from Star Wars. And then later on down the line, Pedro Pascal comes back.
I agree with you to an extent. It is highly plausible and highly possible that he will not return to the Mandalorian. Which I don't want that to happen. It's highly possible. He's got a lot of. Pedro Pascal is probably he's a pretty busy actor right now. He's filming, as many of you know. He's Last of Us season 2. I think he's gonna start filming soon again. They've written it out.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know much about what's going on with Last of Us, but I know that's it's going to be a scheduling conflict with him filming that show.
And then if he's in Fantastic Four,
he is. It's a possible thing that he's being cast as Reed Richards, which that's a good thing for him, in my opinion. These are all great things. It's sad that we might not get him for Mandalorian season 4, but he's got great prospect. It's not like we're losing him. We're not going to see him for a while. We're going to see him in other projects. Sadly, it's not going to be Star Wars. It is a thing, though. What Kurt said, I could see him coming back. To be honest, I don't think he want us let us fans down. I agree with you to that extent, Kurt. And there's where I also bring another thing is that when it comes to Pedro Pascal leaving, like I said, he's got a lot of stuff coming up. He's going to be in the Gladiator sequel. He's got possibly Reed Richards coming up. He's got Last of Us season 2 coming up. He's got a couple of other things coming up, but I believe so. He's right now a busy man. But what could happen is it could be the same thing as season 3, where he is paid to be a voice actor voicing the character. that doesn't actually take up much time as actually being on set, filming the scenes that could be taking like constant re-scenes. It's just plugging his voice in over the moderator, you know? And that is what happened in season 3. I believe I also read an article that was what sucked about it, is that he was getting paid as a voice actor, not an actor, you know? But he could be willing to do that as well. It would just be the voice. We wouldn't be the face. It would just be his voice, though, coming back, not the face, you know?
Also to add on to what you said, Shane. So there is the thing though that Star Wars loves to do. They always love to bring somebody back. Like they brought Ewan McGregor back, they brought Hayden Christensen back. Like they always like to, like, if an actor takes a break from Star Wars, or they like say their character is technically killed off, they will bring them back eventually. Like when Vader was gone, they brought back Hayden Christensen. For Ahsoka as Anakin, and then they brought him back also for Kenobi as Darth Vader. Like, there's so many opportunities where Pedro Pascal could be taking a break from Star Wars, and then they'll just bring him in further down the line. So then, like, he can have his fun with, like, the other projects, like The Last of Us, Gladiator 2, and then, like, possibly Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I completely agree. Sorry about that. Someone just walked into my room, you know?
Yep.
Oh, they don't text me anymore, you know?
They don't text me anymore.
But I agree with you to that extent as well, you know? That is where it could happen, you know? Because Star Wars does like bring people back. He obviously could come back for Dave Filoni's movie. It's also the point where season 3 kind of ended to the point where his character was ended off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He got what he wanted, you know? He's living, he's kind of living peacefully, you know? So season 4 could proceed around him and follow Bo-Katan. It could follow the Mandalorians who have restored Mandalore, you know? We don't know. We really don't know. We don't know what Dave is planning. I know they are set to start filming soon, you know, for season 4, and hopefully have it by late 2024 for us, you know? But we don't know, you know, what's going to happen with that. You know, it all just depends and all just varies, in my personal opinion, where that is going, you know?
Right.
Personally, you know? Like I said, this is information to be taken with a grain of salt. Personally, you know, don't jump the gun and say he's not coming back, you know, don't say any of that. Kind of look into it yourself, you know, because this is something that you all should take away. We should all take with a grain of salt, you know, and who knows, you know, especially with Dave Filoni's new position at Lucasfilm, you know, he could come back. He could just be paid as a voice actor and just do the voice of Mandalorian for the time being until he's free to actually be on set again, you know? And that is like the kind of sidetrack for a second from this main topic. Amazing news as well is that Dave Filoni was promoted, you know, to the, I think, Chief Executive Officer. You know?
Yep.
That's exactly Chief Executive Officer of Lucasfilm, where he is now basically right up there with Kathleen Kennedy now, even more. He doesn't have he can't say no or yes to her, but he's got more control of what movies and shows are going to be produced, you know? And that's some great news for us, you know? I think, John, you want to share your happiness with that news, you know?
So my happiness with that is, so, like, let's say, because Kathleen Kennedy has talked about it in the past, like, where she possibly might be stepping down eventually after some of the Star Wars projects in the next few years are done. So, and then now we just got Dave Filoni, who just got promoted to, like, almost exactly her position, so, like, chief. So what I really like about that is that means if Kathleen Kennedy probably does step down eventually, everything will get passed on down to Dave Filoni, and Dave Filoni will, as we all know, loves and cares about Star Wars and knows how to do things right for the fans. So I feel like that would be a great thing for us, even though he's like the second one in charge just under Kathleen Kennedy. But it's still a win in my book.
Dave will have a lot more say when it comes to stuff, in my personal opinion. I think he's mainly going to have more say on what the shows that he's creating, the shows that are around his saga of Star Wars right now, like the aftermath, literally the aftermath of Return of the Jedi. He's probably going to have a lot more say when it comes to that because it's his baby right now. You really think about it, along with Jon Favreau.
And all the stuff that they're probably doing with Bad Batch because it's involved with Clone Wars.
Yes, so that's gonna be all. I think that's where he might have his most of his attention focused on right now. It's a lot, you know, for that area. But he also could have say when it comes to the new Rey movie that's gonna come out, the new Skeleton Crew movie that's going to come out. You know, that's some great stuff. You know, and just happy as Star Wars fans that that's something we got from Dave Filoni, and now he's at this position where he can have a lot more say. You know, but back, just kind of retracting back on path with the Pedro Pascal, you know, thing. Is it a sad loss if we lose Pedro Pascal for the time being? Yes. Does this mean we get more story of other Mandalorians that we barely know? Yes. And that could be a good thing. New characters and new story is not a thing that we should shy from. I know some of us like the old, you know, we're too stubborn, you know, we like our old things, you know, we want to keep it that way. But new characters and new stories is what keeps growing this fandom, you know? And I know Mandalorian's way out there to grow a fandom, you know, but still, it's something that can grow a fandom. It gives us new characters, especially like when it comes to a Baylan Skoll type situation, you know? I'm not saying we could get that, but it gives us new characters, you know? And we could focus on older characters that could return to the Mandalorian, you know, and show us, you know? So is Pedro Pascal not returning to the Mandalorian? That's a high possibility, very high. Could he just be paid as a voice actor, do the lines, and not be on set? High possibility as well, you know? Voice acting is very different from actually being on set. On set, you have to redo scenes. Voice acting, you have to redo scenes as well if you're not getting if they want something more out of it, but still, it's different from being on set, you know, because something could go wrong. They have to do a reshoot again, reshoot. Voice acting, very different. It's still very high possibilities, you know? And it's like we're not losing Pedro Pascal entirely. He will most likely make a return as the Mandalorian again in any other project if he's not in Mando season 4. It's just a hard thing. I get it for us fans. It's going to be a hard thing to grasp to have Mandalorian without Pedro Pascal. But the Mandalorian can be anyone. John, your thoughts?
So to add on to what you just said, so the Mandalorian can be anyone else. It's called the Mandalorian. It's not based on one Mandalorian. It's based on the whole culture and like how that works. Another thing, like to add to that, Pedro Pascal, I'm pretty sure has said in the past that he loves working with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. So I would see if they were like Dave Filoni would be like, "Hey Pedro, would you like to still be in the Mandalorian? You wouldn't have to be the physical appearance. You could do the voice acting, so then you can take your break a little bit from being the Mandalorian, and then you can do all your other shows, and then eventually would want you back for this big movie that we're planning, and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of methods that I feel like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau could do to possibly change the answers that we are hearing that Pedro Pascal might be leaving, or they might just say, "Hey, Pedro, if you want a break from the Mandalorian, go take your break, and we'll call you back to be the Mandalorian eventually, but go explore and do more opportunities, and then we will come back to you." Like, I could see multiple doorways where it's like there's just multiple endings where Pedro could be taking a break or like leaving, but I wouldn't say
it's taking a break. I would mean say it's taking a step back from this because he's obviously got the other shit that's coming up, you know?
Right.
Because taking a break means you're taking a break from, like, in my opinion, it's taking a break from acting, you know? I'd say taking a step back from Star Wars, you know? But I know there's gonna be some fans, and Gert said it perfectly. If Daddy ain't in it, I ain't want it. Great comment right there, you know? And I get that. But that's just a thing. Some of us are going to have to probably.
But he doesn't like to be called Daddy. He likes to get called Zaddy. He likes to be different.
Yeah, he likes to be Zaddy. Don't forget that.
Zaddy, not Daddy. Get it right, Kurt.
Just a thing that we have to consider when it comes to what Mandalorian season 4 could be about. I'd say let's not shy away from it. Let's embrace what can happen. Yeah, with this change.
Right.
You know? It's an interesting discussion. If he's gone, no one has something. I mean, I shouldn't say we don't have concrete stuff that like is going to happen. You know, It's definitely out there. We all know what he's in. You know, it could most likely happen. But like I said, this is take it with a grain of salt. You know, take it with a grain of salt. Kurt, if you never heard that, what are you doing?
You ever heard that?
In my defense, I've never heard that. You gotta watch the interviews with him, then, you know.
Yeah, you gotta watch the interviews with Pedro Pascal because
where he's like,
I keep hearing Daddy and Internet Daddy, but now that my favorite one that I hear is Zaddy.
That's him. That is him.
He's
You know?
daddy.
But that's like I said, that's the thing. It's just taking this all with a grain of salt because it could happen. It could not happen. You know, it's like we've always talked about when there's rumors like this going around. I wouldn't say rumors sometimes. You know, when rumors stuff could happen, possibilities. It's mainly talks right now. Is it highly plausible talks? Absolutely. Still kind of a rumor though. You know, but yeah, that's just where we could go with this information. You know. It's Pedro Pascal. We're gonna miss him if he's gone.
Yeah, but I strongly think, in my opinion, I feel like he's just going to take a step back because it's a huge role that he would be dropping. But I don't think it would be permanent if he does drop it. I feel
Yeah,
like
he most likely will return. Especially, I think he is most like if this, let's say, takes a step back. You know, let's say he is gone. You know, I think it's highly plausible, highly possible that if he takes that step back, he's gonna come back for David Filoni's movie. Because that wraps up.
And come back for like other projects, kind of like how they did with like Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor.
Yeah. I think you have to make more of the leap to get to those other projects. Like if he came back for, like let's say they do the Republic Ranger stuff. That's an area where I think he can come back into. You know, personally, I could see him making a return in the movie. He can make a return in Mando season 5. You know, all depends. All really depends on what they're gonna do.
It really just depends on what Pedro Pascal would want because in the end, really, it's really him that like brings the character because he is the character.
Yeah, he is the character. We also have to consider the fact that if he is Reed Richards, well, there goes most of his time.
Yep.
Because now he's committed to Marvel. Like that will be like probably a long year contract, you know.
Mm-hmm. And and like, don't get me wrong, Pedro Pascal always like would probably do long term. Like has done long-term contracts with like the Mandalorian and now Last of Us, and then this is possibly as like Marvel. But if he did go the Marvel route, I don't see like him having like a problem also with like doing Star Wars at the same time because they're both owned by Disney and maybe they're like pretty close to each other where they film.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's just also the fact that, like I said, if he's just doing the voice acting role for Mandalorian, still giving the voice lines. It's probably what we're gonna have, you know, for a little bit. You know?
Yeah, or like because like all of season 3, he didn't take off the helmet, like because that's his religion. They don't take off their helmets.
Yeah,
but like eventually, if they're like, "Oh, we want you to come back," like maybe they'll have him back for like an episode or something like that, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna film this." Because he's going to take off the helmet or something, but I don't see him coming back for like a lot of episodes if he like is taking a break, but still wants to be a part of the story.
Yeah, I mean, Kurt, we did have an entire discussion about Disney as well.
Yeah, we did. If you go to
our previous video,
previous
video, just talking about
with Arrow, Disney. We were just going off about Disney stuff.
Yeah, Disney just have a hard on for Marvel, but Marvel's right now in shambles. But I'm not going to get into that.
We're not going to get into that. We already did that once.
We already did that. We might do it again later on, you know.
Later on down the road, but not right now.
But it's just things we have to consider when it comes to all this, you know, especially when it comes to this. I personally think right now, where we're at with Star Wars, I'm okay if he takes a step back.
Yeah, I would agree with that because, like, maybe he takes a step back and they just delay season, like a season where he comes back in. Because
does it mean more Mommy Bo-Katan? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes. And like what you also could see is like maybe like they don't have Pedro Pascal come in, but they have the Mandalorian, but it's like a prequel, so it's like a flashback of like how he was getting involved with being a Mandalorian, because like he had that red armor before in like season 1 until it got ruined. Like,
but that's just a theory. A movie theory.
A movie theory.
Gotta love Matt Pat. That's Matt Pat's line.
Yeah, that is Matt Pat's line.
But yeah, I'm gonna repeat it again. If it happens, it happens, you know. But
yeah, but I don't see it personally. I don't see it.
If it happens, it's not gonna be long term. He will be back. Dave Filoni's gonna want him back. Jon Favreau's gonna want him back.
He won't quit Star Wars.
Yeah, but we also have to consider that his character's right now, where his arc ended, his first arc, it's ended. It's kind of over. You know,
And like
there's more where
they did tease that too in like season 3, because if you watch the ending of season 3, they do this every time when like a arc has ended.
they do the circle closeout.
Yes, circle closeout.
We do. It's like
Every
you see it. I think you see it in Revenge of the Sith.
You see it in Revenge of the Sith. You see it in
I don't think they did in Return of the Jedi.
Phantom Menace. Return of the Jedi. I don't think they did it.
Rise of Skywalker, I think they did it.
They did, I think.
Um,
No, Return of the Jedi, I think they did do it. Because
I'm not going to get into this. I don't know. I haven't watched the movie in a minute.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Because like like the scene where like they're all.
Oh yeah, and they're all like yeah, they did do it. They did. You're right. I told you're
totally right. They always do that when an arc closes.
When an arc is ended, they kind of always do that. So right now his character is done, so they can proceed around him, but he most likely will make a return. You know, John brought up a great point. Anakin, Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, they all came back. You know,
they always.
Natalie Portman is reportedly coming back.
Yes, see, there is like proof that there is a way that Star Wars can like say, "Oh, you can take a step back. We'll bring you in eventually."
Yeah.
And then they take their step back.
Absolutely.
Later on down the line, they come back.
Dude, here's the thing about Star Wars.
Character.
Here's the thing about Star Wars. It's different from any other kind of saga. Star Wars can always bring a character back because they like to go back. They like to talk about other things. They like to use the Force. The Force is like their biggest excuse. There is their biggest excuse ever. Like Marvel right now, if they wanted to, they could bring back old characters because right now, multiverse is like their excuse.
Time travel.
And time travel is their excuse right now. But like Star Wars uses it more because it makes more sense. You know, because Star Wars constantly has done that. You know, that's not just a thing that's happened. Star Wars has constantly done it. You know, from the very get-go they did it in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
You know?
What
yes.
I do see though?
This is a great point here. Star Wars is like a cockroach. When you think when it gets dead, proves you wrong.
Prove you wrong. Yeah.
It's very true. Yeah.
And like, for example, like the part that Shane brought up, like they're possibly bringing back Natalie Portman. Like, how? My question is, because she definitely died from child pregnancy. My question is, how would they bring her back? Did you actually see
I read that theory. I read the theory that
it's not child pregnancy. It was just she actually died to like a broken heart or something like that. Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that. I think the best theory that I've always heard and makes more sense, and I think it is true now. I don't really know. I haven't read into this much. I think the theory that Palpatine siphoned life away from Palpatine and gave it to Anakin also is a pretty strong theory.
That actually could make sense.
If she did die from a broken heart, it's actually possible. You can die from sadness.
Yeah,
it's true. It's like you think it's a stupid thing. It's actually very true. People have died.
It's a very true thing. You can die from that. But back to what we were saying before, like they did tease that she's gonna come back as Abeloth. Like
there was it hasn't been confirmed. Well, it hasn't
been confirmed, but that's what people are saying. And the reason why they're saying that is because Hayden Christensen, like you all know, is basically now the embodiment of the father. Abeloth was the mother, then you had the son and the daughter. The daughter is represented by Ahsoka.
Now,
father's Anakin.
I'm gonna pause right there.
Don't know who the son is.
I'm gonna pause right there, John. I'm gonna pause right there. We're going off topic. We both made you do this. We can't go down this road that much, you know. We can't. This episode is strictly kind of almost about Pedro Pascal, and we're going right into Natalie Portman. I say it's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kurt. I think the Palpy theory about how Padme died makes more plausible sense. I think I like that theory more personally. But yeah, personally, I would just say where this show is at, where he has ended right now, it makes sense that they let Pedro Pascal go for a little bit. It's not too impossible, you know. I personally, that's what I got. And this episode's kind of, like I said, this episode's gonna be a short one. This is what we really got right now, because we were gonna talk about Baylan Skoll. I want to say that for another episode, though. Personally, you know. That's another episode that deserves its own thing, talking about Ray Stevenson. You know, doesn't need to be clumped in with this. You know, But personally,
And
John, you got any last words?
just to kind of add on why it's really a short episode, there isn't a lot of Star Wars news out right now. That's really the big one. It's just Pedro Pascal. That's why this was short. So who knows? Maybe in the next week or so we'll get more big information.
Yeah. But for all of you that are there watching this episode or going to watch this episode another time, later recordings, enjoy your holidays. We'll see you next week back with something, probably be the Baylan Skoll topic if they should recast Baylan Skoll, Ray Stevenson, if they should. That'll be a topic we're going to discuss next week. But for the rest of you, take care. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the holidays. If you guys are in final season, like me when it comes to school, don't stress. Pace yourself properly, and you're going to do amazing on finals, But take care, everybody. So long. Enjoy. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. May the Force be with you.